So,
That's that's Shivshankar uncle. He's our classmate.
okay. Hi, Shivshankar.
Hi, sir. I'm Shivshankar.
Nice. Cool. So, Shivshankar and Nani, let's get started. And
Yeah,
you
sir.
guys have understem accounts for you to post the questions, or I know Nani.
Actually, yeah. I have that account, uncle. I'll make him to understand what. I'll make him to know what about it, how to log in.
Okay, sure, yeah.
So
Cool. Maybe note down the questions that you guys are asking and go enter the questions later.
you need to like, tell the questions which we write, or else we have to upload the questions now itself.
Then now you can ask Nani. What I'm saying is just write them down. That way, once the call is done, you can create the account or add the questions later.
Sure, uncle. Actually, I wrote all the questions and I'll ask him.
Great. Okay, man. Go ahead.
So okay, I'll start. Siva, do you want to start or else?
Yeah, understand.
No. Do you want to start or else
You
shall I
can you
continue?
can you can start.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So actually, what are the skills required to attend an interview, uncle? Like the prerequisites sort of things.
Um,
General, like basic skills, uncle. Uh, to get into at least to crack the interview, basic interview. What are the required skills, uncle?
um, so, are you talking in the context of data science or in general for
No,
any?
general interviews.
Okay.
Later we'll talk about data science context, because the reason is that for us, like TCS, these are service-based companies. Uncle. They'll come first.
Mm,
Or domain-based companies, I think they'll not provide us any interviews from our college.
mm.
So we'll just discuss on this basic, like 3.5 package to about eight package interviews.
Okay. Okay. I think I would say three things are very commonly observed. Even if they are not observed, they are very much required, I believe. One is
Okay.
how do you articulate what you wanted to tell? Meaning, like say, if you want to tell three different things, why you did something or you did not do something. Now, how do you articulate that? One way to articulate is uh, I did I did not do something because whatever, and you tell all those three reasons. The
Yeah,
other
yeah.
way is you you articulate in a way for three different reasons I did this or I did not do this. The first reason is this, second reason is this, third reason is this. So whoever is new to you and whatever you are doing, they will easily be able to follow you.
Okay.
So you need to do some kind of pre-processing in your brain. How many points you wanted to be talking about, three things, and then you tell the number three, and then you go one by one. So this is one thing people miss out very easily, especially the new folks to the industry, because they just tell the content in form of some paragraphs.
Okay. Now I got you.
If you tell a paragraph to me, I might not be able to understand everything about that paragraph.
Yeah.
So that requires some processing. And uh, so while you kind of talking about those one, two, threes, one advantage would be for you is even you would be very clear about what you wanted to tell, what you don't want to tell.
Mm, yeah.
The second one is, of course, the confidence, how clear you are about why you did something. Your confidence, what people definitely look at. And the
Yeah.
third one is definitely, obviously, the skill set, whatever the skill set you have. Now, the first two things that I mentioned, the articulation and the confidence, they are going to be very common whether you are talking about your technical stuff or anything else. For example, I might ask you, okay, you guys did BTech in computer science. Why you had to spend 2 more years in doing masters? So this is nothing to do with the technology, right? But you guys
Yeah,
need to have some solid reasons for doing this.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Good, Shiva.
So, is that the answer for question answer? I think it is clear for us. Huh?
Yeah, and one more thing that I have observed in the entry level is when you talk to the person who is interviewing you, you guys need to slow down in form of sentences. You guys just can't talk to the way you guys talk to your friends, because that speed of this words, right, will be very fast when you're talking to your colleague. But when you're sitting in front of somebody, maybe like an older person like me, it's not like we cannot follow, but it's gonna give a lot more clarity if you just slow down in your sentences.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Always think that you are telling whatever you are trying to convey, that to the other person, that other person does not know anything about you.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah. Sure.
Yes, sir.
And of course, like more interviews you attend, you get more clarity and all those things. But articulation is very, very important. People look at your maturity based on how you articulated whatever you wanted to tell. Always remember that. That need not be specific to the interviews. That can be even today. If I go give presentation to somebody, that is what people that people would measure me, or my maturity levels, my articulation skills, whatever, based on how I kind of condense everything into some points. Or
Yeah.
even while going deep inside the technical things, right? For example, like why um, why, for example, the whole back propagation works. Now, if I ask you that question, you don't throw me one paragraph to me. You kind of articulate, maybe these are the two reasons. The concept one from mathematics, um, um, in helps back propagation to work. Concept two in the neural network architecture, because you go multiple times across the network. When we say back propagation, it's not just one time, right? It is
Yeah.
multiple
Yeah.
times. So you have that technology, or the notion of going multiple times across the network would help the back propagation work. And uh, and um, and you sometimes you might not know all the reasons. Maybe the reasons that I just told you, there are only two in number, right? So
Yeah.
there might be third one and fourth one, but you might not know. So in that case, you kind of leave the door open for the possibility that you might not know everything. So you kind of say that, hey, you say these are the two reasons, you tell the reason one, you tell the reason two, and then you end that answer with, there might be other reasons that I'm not able to articulate, or that I don't know, maybe is contributing to the back propagation actually working. So what this will do is, people look at you with this kind of statement, that you are not very rigid. Generally in companies, even outside also, you would see people think that they know everything. In companies, people don't want to work with them, because so many times, if you don't know something, if they tell you something new, you should be able to appreciate and tell them that, oh yeah, I don't know, yeah, it's good that I learned, and then move on. People look at for that kind of a personality.
Okay.
So you can while answering anything, you don't have to end the every question, every answer like this. You don't have to end every answer with some kind of a on a low note, saying that, oh, I don't know, I might not know, kind of a thing. But always remember, if you are not sure, even the other guy would get to know that you are not sure. But how you are handling that kind of a situation where you are not sure is what people would look at.
Okay.
Am I making sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, sir.
Okay, good.
So
So I think this,
simply saying like making the conversation simple and clear. Is it what you? I did that the thing I understood from the conversation.
yes, absolutely. And these things are so simple to try out. Even for example, two friends, like say you and Shiva, can
Yeah.
do a role play between both of you, where Shiva can be interviewer or Nani is the person who is giving interview, and then you both record the conversation, and then you both listen to that conversation. Immediately, you will find some 10 things that you can improve.
Yeah. I think that's a better idea, uncle. Learning our mistakes from our own things.
Yes, maybe you are talking too fast, too slow.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe everywhere like that simple recording will teach you so many things about you.
Yes, sir.
Because at the end of the day, you are not here to write a book about interviews, right? You want to improve yourself.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, uncle.
Does it help?
Uh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, sir.
Absolutely. So another question is that um, there is asked to a person regarding this data science domain. I think they said that freshers don't have an opportunity, or else the company doesn't take the fresher in data science field. So the person has to work in some other domain at least for 1 or 2 years and can later join the data scientist domain. Is that true, or else it's a myth, uncle?
No, that is not true. There are so many companies where they can even hire interns in data science. It is just that how deep of the data science work that they have.
Okay.
So
Actually, like what we learn is different from the company's perspective, because when you go to the company, uh, what they do is different, and what we learn in data science is different. As of I know.
that is always there in any technology, like even in computer science, whatever you learn, whatever you go actually do outside, it's always going to be some quite a bit of new things would be there in the industry.
Okay. So, what sort of knowledge we have, how much deep the knowledge we have, they count.
Absolutely, that is one. That is the thing that holds. See, I'll tell you one thing. Data science is not like some kind of a some balcony kind of a thing where the other things are not like belong to balcony kind of level. Data
Okay.
science is just like one more field within the company that they wanted to, just the way you have cloud team, that team, this team, you would have data science team. And they,
Okay.
just like any other team, they work very closely with the other teams. They don't work in silo on their own. And the um, the for any fresher in any field in 2022, this year or in these times, the best bet to show that you are capable of doing something is go participate in open source.
Okay.
That is
Okay.
good. If you don't do that, then people would just rely on your degree, your marks, those kind of things.
Okay.
I
What
know
does it mean, like participating in open source, like contest, like coding contest, or else you know those are the open source participation domains. Platforms.
you can participate in competitions, or you can even go contribute to some projects as well, like like
Okay.
open source projects. For example, here Maybe I'll share my screen. Just give me a minute.
Yeah, that would be best.
Just give me 1 minute, guys. Yeah, I'm having some issues with sharing the screen.
No problem, uncle. We can carry.
Okay, so I'll just put in this link. So 1 minute. So you guys are sitting in front of the browsers, right?
Yeah, actually, I'm using mobile and listening to the meeting.
Okay. I'm trying to.
It's okay, uncle. Like, we'll just share the link. After the meeting, I'll just see what is that.
Yeah, there as well. I wanted to tell you something because you would know what I mean by. So, okay, I'm putting in the link in the chat here. Okay.
Yeah,
And so this project is on GitHub PyTorch. You guys use PyTorch for your work, right? But it is built by so many open source contributors. Now, if you go to this particular link, PyTorch issues, meaning all the items that require attention, either small fixes, big fixes, bugs, features, they're all documented as issues there, GitHub issues, we call it. So you
okay. Like
can,
27 open, 56, 156 closed.
exactly.
They're showing that.
And each of those issues are labeled with something, complexity high, complexity low, and one very interesting label that across the projects, not just the PyTorch, across the open source projects follow, is called good first issue. What that
Good
means is good
first issue.
issue, yes. So the link that I put in is related to all the issues right now at PyTorch with that specific label, good first issue. What that means is, for all these open source communities to attract new contributors, it is not like you are doing a favor to them. Even the community wants new people like you guys to come there and then pick up an issue and then fix something and then send the code to them and then they review, and then your changes, whatever you made, will be in the main branch of the PyTorch. What that means, next time when a new release of the PyTorch is created for the entire world, even your changes go into that.
Yeah.
So for the new contributors to get easier onboarding, because everybody new is new, right? Like they would not know anything about how to what is next kind of a thing. So those issues which are easy to do, easy to get started, only those issues are labeled with a good first issue label.
Okay.
So if you go to PyTorch or any of the projects that you are interested in, you can happily go look for the good first issues and then go start contributing. Why I'm making that statement is that is the best way that you can connect to an organization in the quickest time, rather than telling them or relying only on your marks or your grades in the college.
Okay.
because this
got it.
demonstrates how much you know, right?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, understood, Ankit. So, shall we continue next question?
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
So, as you said, like participating in open sources is a good thing, but actually, this Coursera is like sort of like that such certificates like they add no value to the resume. So how can we boost up the resume? No, by what doing what we can boost the resume.
The My opinion is there can be different opinions about this. My opinion is you participate specific to data science in Kaggle communities, or you go participate in the open source communities, for example, PyTorch, or pick up any project. So these are the
Okay, that's
most.
for
Go ahead.
that's for data science domain. If we are attending like normal interviews, like no, or like what sort of certifications are good and like even though you're attending for normal interview, we can show these certifications like we have got something in data science. Can we show them that?
So is the question, Nani, showing any of these Coursera certificates, is it useful? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, in another domain, uncle. Like for example, this is all related to data science domain, what we earn from the Coursera
Yes.
certifications, etc. But
Mm.
we're attending an interview regarding another domain, like generally the companies come to college and take interviews, like for example, 3.5 package, they software developer roles, like such roles. If
Mm.
we provide these certifications, are they add value to the interview, or else they think of only the domain which they want to interview.
Um, I think i- they are not going to be that fixated about only the things in your domain. But more important thing is when you say that, okay, you are masters in something, whatever the domain that you are in right now, people look at how deep you've gone in that particular domain.
Okay,
So if I have two choices, say if I'm doing an interview and if you guys are in front of me and you show like say um, two certifications and one extracurricular activity in your domain, that is one possibility. Or the other
okay,
possibility, you show some certifications in three different domains, right? So both are good, both are not bad. But if my need is to hire somebody who is way deep inside data science, I will go with the candidate for the with the first possibility.
okay,
If I have like engineering, computer science requirement as well as some data science requirements are coming up in my organization now, then maybe I will choose the second one.
okay,
So my question to you guys would be is to think through how you want to play yourself, meaning you want to go deep inside data science, then go for the first possibility. But even if you want to, do you think you are capable of going to one more level of depth in the current field? If you think you have enough skill set, then go with that possibility. The other thing is, yeah, I'm in data science, but you know what, I cannot go deeper than this current level. Then maybe it's better to diversify or branch out into other areas in form of certifications, in form of job roles where you do data science but not 100% of the data science. You do 30% data science, 50% data science, and the other 50% you would be doing some plain computer science work.
okay. And what I think is that you know our campus will not bring any our data science like companies. So what I think is that whichever the campus, the whatever the campus they come to our college, I just want to crack one of the interview on the college on what they call is on campus. We keep a hold of it, and actually another year. So another year is all full of projects. So in that time, I want to go deep in the deep learning, like sort of all these AI things in this domain, and I attend that interview in that domain. So like keeping hold of one job and preparing for another job. That's what I plan to do. Is that a right choice, or else it's not
Yeah,
good?
having one offer in hand is always good. Now, if you guys have time, when your campus selections would start?
Maybe in September, maybe
Okay,
August or September.
August.
okay. So you have time, and what I would suggest is today, if I'm doing an interview, or if you have, if you have an interviewer in front of you, and if that guy asks you one single question, why I should hire you, what would be the three or four bullet points that you would tell the interviewer that this because of these four bullet points, because of these uh, areas of expertise, I think that I can be a good fit in your organization. So I think guys need to work backwards, come up with that list today, and then spend time towards that list of things.
Okay, sure.
Okay, uncle.
If you don't do that, then you will do A, you will do B, you will do C, whatever you feel like, maybe in the next 2 or 3 months, 4 months, and all that. But they might not add up that much to you. So even if you write on paper today that list of bullet points, if they make sense to you, if they look strong to you, then you are in a good position. Then it's a matter of just spending time and effort towards those bullet points.
Okay, sure.
Okay, sir.
Does it make sense?
Yeah, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Next question.
Mm.
So, no, why? In coding competitions, some people say that Python is not good for doing like coding. They they tell us to prefer C or C++ in coding competitions. Like, what is the difference? And is it a myth, or else, is it true?
Which coding
Even though
company?
Python is built on this C or C++. Python coding competitions, like in this HackerRank, CodeChef, these are the coding platforms. Okay? They conduct coding competitions. So they said that it's better to use C or C++ in coding competitions rather than in Python. Okay, yeah, like
See,
is it
I'll tell you one thing. You will always hear these kind of things. Um, they might be true, they might not be true based on certain circumstances. Um,
okay?
what I would tell you is, for you, going back to the previous answer, if you have that bullet points identified, for example, and if
Yeah,
one of those bullet points is code chef competition, okay,
yeah,
and
yeah.
if you don't have Python code chef competitions, okay, then you don't have any other option than choosing something else other than Python, at least for the coding competitions, because you mark participating in code chef competitions as one of the key things that you should be doing. So whatever is required for you to do that, learn any other language, need not be C or C++, can be Golang or anything. You should be able to do that. But
Yeah,
if
I'll give
coaching
an example of situation. Like yesterday, I was doing the problem. I was
okay.
doing the problem on on competition problem. I did it in Python, uncle. It is executing in outside the competition. Like I solved the question in like another Jupyter notebook. It is executing, but in the coding contest, it's saying that timeout, set time insufficient, or not executing in time. Such sort of thing that happening. And the people wrote the code in the C++. They have executed very well, which I wrote the code in the same logic I wrote in Python. It's let's say that time is not insufficient to complete the program. Such sort of things happen. Like when the companies come to our
These
college, they conduct interviews. Like they'll ask coding questions. Is it happen? Same thing will happen in the coding questions which the companies ask, or is only in competitions like these code chef and other online platforms conduct.
Okay. So when somebody come for an interview, they would not. Okay, let me put it this way. In
Yeah.
any coding competition, whether it's Python or whatever, it doesn't matter. They will ask you to run the piece of code in their environment. Sometimes
Okay.
that can be low on memory, that can be whatever, low on CPU cores, whatever it is. So in that constrained environment, you should be able to run the application. That is the case for any competition in the world. Um,
Okay.
so so we cannot get to a statement where oh, it works on my laptop, it doesn't work there. The whole point of competition itself is in that kind of constraints how you can make it work. So sometimes it can be C, sometimes it can be Python, it can be anything. It all depends on the rules of that competition. But when you're talking about interviews, coding questions, those kind of things in the interview, you would not get into such a case. At least um, I did not hear such possibility. They would ask you, like, what happens in this kind of a case, how you would do that, or solve this problem, or write some pseudo code for this.
Yeah.
Things on those lines, um, people would ask. But if you think, again, going back to the bullet points that I was saying, if you think, for example, code chef, you having some kind of a medal or some level one, level two, if those things you think is gonna really help you to sit in front of while sitting in front of the interviewer, then yeah, code chef has to be on your table. If that is not the case, then uh, if the bullet point is just answer possible questions from the interviewer, then the approach, whatever the concern that you brought up, the Python, C, C++, I don't think that is a big deal at all in that case.
Okay. I got it.
So the summary, what I'm trying to say is, you will always find so many things going in so many directions. You cannot be good at everything. Don't even try to do that. That is the reason I ask you, write down what makes you a strong candidate for getting into the industry in form of bullet points and work only on that.
Okay. Sure. Understand what you're saying. I understand.
Yeah, because you will not have time and energy or the capability to do everything in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'll go with the next question. Okay.
Yeah.
So now, being a fresher, how can we directly go and join in any abroad country like US, Canada, any abroad countries? Being a fresher, can we join in a company? Okay, that's my question.
I
Like
think
directly from the college.
I think it depends on the immigration rules. Mm,
Like
where
if you have passport available, like, if I bought a passport, but I got a interview call from another country. Like, is it possible, uncle? We have the freshers has a scope to join in on other states, other countries, companies, or else
in
there is no scope. Like,
yeah, see, if you are a native of that particular country, for example, if you are US citizen and you are in US, so even for freshers, yeah, you will have jobs here. But for somebody to do the immigration with a visa, then that visa has to be sponsored by a company, and that company in any country would look for some experience to kind of get the people into their company. Because like in India, right, unlike in India, um, you would not have Infosys or Wipro where thousands of people are there. Freshers keep coming in, senior people coach them. That kind of a structure would not be there in other countries at all. So whoever comes on board, however low experience is, they should be able to self-sufficiently do their work. The but there might be one or two exceptions. But in general, um, experience is required. because outside countries, whoever is sponsoring you, they spend money, whatever the energy, commitment, and all that. They would expect you to come and perform the work right away. For example, if you take my example, um, when I when I'm done with my undergrad in India, I did 2 years of work in Bangalore before I come to US. Um, so that can be based on the current immigration conditions. That can be 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, but rarely, or maybe I never heard a case where somebody doing the undergrad or graduation in India directly go to another country for work. The exceptions might be like the Middle East countries where uh, um, those kind of places where they definitely there might be more chances for the possibility that you're talking about.
Okay. Like when the students go from here and study MS there in like US or UK, any other abroad countries, like how gonna they enter the company there? Like, they're also being freshers from MS. Will the companies accept being a fresher there?
Okay, it's a good question. When you are done with the college here, either undergrad or graduation, they will give something called a practical training permit for 3 years.
Okay. Okay.
What that means is, say if you want to come here for studies, you come on F1 visa, and then you finish your college. And once the college is done, for 3 years, you don't need any visa to work anywhere in US.
Okay.
So what that means is you will have a lot more opportunities because you are not going to be restricted to the people or the companies who are going to be sponsoring only visas.
Okay.
So that is how people get into the industry here after the college in US. And once, like say, if they join a company ABC, then the company ABC will start your visa process.
Okay. Sure.
So even today, for example, if you don't have any visa related requirement, uh, like say you have US passport, then automatically, even if you are studying at Vizag today, even if you are doing MS in Vizag, you are eligible to work in any company in US without any visa
Oh yeah.
because you're just a citizen of this country, right? Just like the
Yeah.
way
Yeah.
currently you don't need any visa to work in India.
Yeah. No, I got the point.
So if visa thing comes into picture, then people look at okay, what why they are doing it, what is that they would benefit from that. All those things will come into picture.
Yeah. Like, what is the difference of the lifestyle of the software employee in other countries and India as of your experience, from your experience, lifestyle, in the company, in the company.
I think um, things have changed a lot. Even serious companies um, have centers now in Bangalore. I don't know about Hyderabad. Quite a bit of serious work is done from Bangalore in India. But from software engineer point of view, either in US or in India, quite a bit of things depend on how your environment is within the company, the culture. Based on that, you will learn quickly, you will evolve as a person, and then you will grow quickly. So I do not see any serious disadvantage now being in Bangalore. Even the pay structures have gone up very, very high, as well as some serious work is being done in some Bangalore companies. So if if the work is some really cutting edge technologies like cloud, AI, and if the use case that particular company is solving is a very important use case, then automatically you would not see much difference wherever you are, here or there. And if if the work is not that great, or if the culture is not that great, which is the case in so many companies in India even today. So if you land up in such companies, then it can be a problem. And culture not that great, work not that great. There are such companies even in US as well. Please note that. So I would suggest, like, rather than thinking about US or some other country right away, are you picking up the right company with the right culture? How serious about they are about their product? Those things are going to be very important ones, because unless there is a strong desire to solve some real world problems, the culture or the motivation would not be there that much within the organization.
Okay, uncle. I got you. I got the point. So, I'll do another question. You know, like when now I'm studying MTech in my college. So actually, BTech and MTech students both have like a common interview. Actually. So what the interview will expect from MTech and BTech student? Like, at least from us, what the interview will expect compared with BTech student? Like,
Yeah, that's a good question. As I said, like last time, right? Like how seriously people um, pursue their passion is what the companies would like to check. So if you've done BS in computer science, if you have done MS in data science, then people would expect you to you to tell them, or you need to be clear about how, for example, your BTech major, computer science, played a role in your masters in data science.
okay,
How
okay,
you used
yeah,
it, how you applied it. That is what people would look at. Even if they are not going to be explicit about that, you can talk through those things.
sure, sure.
That is
Yeah, I
one
got
thing.
the point.
Second one is, in general, if you're talking to a master's guy, they would expect them to have some advanced knowledge of any topic, either computer science advanced ones, or, for example, even data science advanced topics, compared to a guy who is just done the BTech in some major. When I say advanced, like say in computer science, that I can ask a question. If you're undergrad, I will ask, okay, tell me how multitasking is done in Linux. If you are a master's guy, I would ask how, for example, multitasking in Linux is different from Windows platforms.
Okay,
You see, that is the next level of the same question, right?
yeah, yeah,
So you need to be thinking on those lines. People don't expect you to learn some 20 different things. Whatever three or four things that you know, how well you think about, how deep you have gone about those three or four things is what people would look at. That is the reason that I keep talking about those bullet points.
yeah.
Because if one of the bullet points is around, okay, I want to claim that I'm very good in Docker containers or operating systems. So then, if that is a bullet point, then you can spend time from now to August around that whole topic.
Okay, okay, I got it. Next
Does it make
question.
sense?
Yeah, yeah, sure. It makes sense. Um, like based on the package, uncle, then you know there is a 3.5 example. Take a scenario, uncle. Like there is a 3.5 lakh package. One company he wants to hire you for 3.5 lakh package. Another wants to hire you for 8 lakhs package. Another company wants to hire you for 15 lakhs package. Like, uh, what is the like what are the expectation compared with these three things? Expectations and compared with the three things based on the package. I'm asking.
The You might be surprised, but At least based on what I saw was whoever is offering you very low package, maybe that is the level that they have for offering the new guys, and maybe they have very less money to even spend. So the expectations of what you need to be doing in those companies will be significantly higher in terms of more work.
Okay, yeah,
Not the other way. But you need to think more from the work point of view, what kind of work that you would be doing. And if you spend time on that particular work for 1 year, how that can be more beneficial to you, um, to kind of upskill your entire profile, is what you need to be looking at, not just the money part. In general, if somebody is offering higher numbers, to me that tells that they are more stable, or they, in terms of the job or in terms of the processes, maybe they have some kind of stability once you join there. That is how I see it.
okay,
But the 3 or 4 years of initial 3 4 years, you would still need to be focusing seriously on the work culture, um, what kind of problems they are solving, things on those lines. Only then you can evolve as a serious professional in that particular field.
okay, okay. I'm done with the questions. I think my questions.
Good man. Cool.
Okay,
Shiva.
Yeah,
Ross, can I start?
Yeah, go ahead,
sure,
man.
sure.
Yeah, yes, yes, sir. Sir, what type of skill should a person possess to enter into a data science field?
Yeah, I think the basic understanding of the mathematics and
Okay.
um, basic understanding of mathematics and the 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 things like how you knowing the ways how you deal with the data, meaning it doesn't have to be neural networks, it doesn't have to be deep learning to start with, but ability to understand, like say if somebody send you some 2 GB of data and tell me, and that person would ask, okay, Shiva, tell me what is there in that data, can you see any patterns there,
Okay.
or something on those lines, or can I understand this data, this is like a raw data like 2 GB that I'm giving it to you. Maybe you can create some charts or graphs, or if it is required then you model something on top of data. So ability to deal with the data of all formats is one of the key requirements for the data scientists, because
Okay,
in
sir.
computer science, outside data science, right, you
Yes, sir.
start writing code first, right?
Yeah.
That is step one, and then if your code is running somewhere, then it will generate the data, like no add record to a database, delete record to a database from your code. In data science, you don't start with the code, you start with the data set, and then
Yes.
you come up with whatever you need to do, the coding, creating graphs, visualization, modeling, based on that particular data set. So the same neural networks or the visualizations that you do on one data set might not be applicable to another data set at all. So just like in accounting system, right? Like people in the bank, right? They always deal with some data, right? They always have to write something.
Yes.
They always have to make sure the numbers are proper. It is that kind of a thing. You keep the data as the first thing.
Yes, sir.
So that mindset has to be there along with the mathematics.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. And can I go to the second question?
Yeah, go ahead.
And what is the basic data science certificates to kickstart the career in data science? Like which
See,
type of certificates?
uh, any certification is not is not nothing is useless. Everything counts, but
Yes.
you need to be knowing one thing, that is, if you are talking about your profile as computer science undergrad or computer science btech or data science mtech, then people would expect you to know more from your major course, undergrad or mtech, like that, than from some certifications.
Yes, sir.
So people would look at your knowledge than just the certifications.
Okay.
If you see, like, say, if I see that you have two certifications, for example, and I'm taking an interview for you, then I say, hey, okay, good, Shiva did two certifications, then maybe I can ask a tougher question.
Yes, sir.
That is how people would look at. So the knowledge is important, not just because you have some certifications, automatically you will get something easy, and all those things. That will not be the case. Please remember that.
Yes, sir.
And
Sure.
most of the times, my opinion is certifications are required for a person whose degree does not support that particular field.
Okay.
For example, like, say, you're doing data science, maybe your certifications might not be that big of a deal because anyway you are doing mtech data science.
Yes, sir.
So that is how I see it. And in some cases, for example, I'll tell you, um, I did my btech, like, say, 25 years back. At that time there was no cloud, nothing like that. So even till today, any computer science related things, I would not do any certifications. I just rely on my degree and my experience. But recently, all this cloud computing has started, right? So
Yes.
that is so different from my original degree that I did 25 years back. So for somebody to appreciate how deep I know cloud related skill set, maybe I need to do cloud certifications. Otherwise, people would not know me how good I can do in cloud, because my original degree does not provide anything to do with the cloud.
Yes, sir.
So even I'm doing certifications, but in the areas that my degree is not applicable anymore.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes, sir. And the next question is, sir, actually, I'm doing a data science in data science. So I want to go depth, sir, like into like in the real time projects like robotics. So what should I do for going to a next position?
Yeah.
Can I
So
report? Yes, sir.
yeah, see, any of these advanced things, right? They require even more clear understanding of the basics. For example, when you say a robotics related field, are you talking about you want to get into a company with which does robotics?
Sorry, sir.
Are you talking about when you say you want to get into advanced level or robotics?
Yes, sir.
Are you saying that you want to get into companies which does robotics?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. So in that case, like, ask yourself maybe the most basic things, right? Like the computer science basics, the mathematics basics, and those things. If you think that you need to improve, you need to improve because they are going to be very much required. And you can look into any competitions out there on Kaggle, which are closer to robotics, or
Yeah.
yeah, that can be one good place to even ask questions about that particular field, as well as participate in any of those competitions,
Okay.
because that will give you some sense of the depth, or the what they have to offer to you, what is required from your side. You will get a sense of that.
Yes, sir.
Always, while you guys are trying to figure out these things, remember two things. Along with your interest, ask yourself, can you actually have the ability to go succeed in that particular area or not. If you
Okay.
think that you cannot do, or it is not your interest area, or it is too much hassle, then don't go on that path and waste your time.
Okay. Got the point, sir.
Yeah, always pair up interest with the practical realities as well.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah, sir. And the next question is how to enter into the data science field, sir? Like as a fresher or fresher as a internship or jobs. Like,
See,
can I repeat the question, sir?
I understand. Like, say, so many companies, like in around January or times now, they ask
Yeah.
for interns, especially in Bangalore. They look for so many intern positions. So if you go to any job websites and shortlist them by internships, you will find plenty of opportunities there. And
Okay.
and if any of the companies are doing serious data science work, then they will have plenty of internship positions to get started in data science. So
Okay.
internship, getting started with internship, the barrier to entry is very, very low compared to joining full time in any field, not specific to data science. Full time joining any field is the barrier is little bit higher. The other advantage with your internship can be, while you are doing internship with a company, right? You will get to know whether they are seriously working on some interesting use cases or not. Because internship is only for 3 months, 4 months, right? You will get
Yes,
to
sir.
know that and then make a better decision.
Okay.
If you directly join a company after college, essentially you are committing to that particular company. Maybe
Okay.
once you join there, you don't like the work, you don't like whatever the culture, then you have to quit that company, go to a different company. But with
Okay.
internship, right? Even
Yes, sir.
officially, it is only for 3, 4 months. So that will give you some sense of what company does, and you can search them on job websites.
Okay, sir. Sir, and my final question is um, suppose in interview there are two persons, a person which are having good marks and good certificates about a particular domain, and he has normal skills, and the second person he didn't have any certificates, and he have a normal 7% 70% CGPA. So what is the um, the interviewer gives a job for which one, sir? Like person one or person two? You have a good second person having a good knowledge skills and about a particular
Siva, can
domain.
I repeat the question once again? I didn't understand this.
Yeah, yeah, okay, 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 Russ. Suppose in an interview there are two persons. First person having uh, good certificates about the particular domain, and he having a good marks, and this but he having a normal skills in a domain, and the second person is having a not having a good marks, and he didn't have a good certificates, but he have a good knowledge. So the interviewer which person can get the job, sir?
Mm. So I'll give you answer in two different time frames. Okay,
Okay,
one,
sir.
like say, one time frame is college, right after college or college campus elections, like that. The second time profile is like say 10 years from now. Okay.
Okay.
Now, in 10 years from now, the person who has better knowledge, that person will easily succeed or do very well in interviews and all that compared to the first person.
Yeah.
In the first time profile, right after college or campus elections, one what I learned is or they don't expect some serious high fundu stuff, or if you have, that is good, but you need to remember that they will come and try to shortlist few people from 200 people, 300 people, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
in that kind of a case, they have to have some kind of a shortlisting way,
Okay.
some shortlisting criteria, right?
Yes, sir.
So that shortlisting criteria will be very much fixed for so many organizations. The shortlisting criteria can be, okay, we call only people with more than this particular GPA for the written test, and
Yeah.
call right only more than these many. Uh, Only if you get these many marks, you qualify for the interview. So things on these lines. So if your
Yeah.
GPA and all that is lower than the threshold, then you would not even participate in that, right? But
Yes,
maybe
sir.
if you do the written test and interview, you might succeed. So generally, marks weightage, what is being taught in college is more is given more important closer to the campus elections and all that. Um, but it all depends on the threshold, what they define, things like that. But if you even if you are like say um, like say you got less GPA and all that, and your
Yeah.
course is done, you did not get any campus selections, for example, then like say you go to Bangalore to search for a job. At that time, in that particular case, your marks might not be that important at all because they are not
Okay.
gonna, they don't have to shortlist some 100 people, right?
Yes, sir.
So in that case, they directly get to the written test and the interview where you are, if you have good knowledge, then you can easily shine through. So in my college as well, whoever got very good marks, they got campus selections and all that. But whoever did
Okay.
not get marks, they never got into campus selections. But they were quite successful outside as well.
Okay.
So
Sir.
I
Yeah.
don't make
Yes.
a big deal out of this as long as you guys know what you guys are trying to do, and you have at least 3 or 4 areas in computer science and data science that you are firmly in control of.
Yes. Sir, compared to campus recruitment, outside is more like more competition is there now, sir, compared to college.
It depends on the circumstances, right? Like, if you are looking for getting the job right inside the college, then if they are
Okay.
trying to get like say 10 people out of 300 people, 400 people, then the competition might be high even within the college, right?
Yes, sir.
So even outside, if they are looking to hire like say 20 engineers in the next 1 month, so those kind of things play a bigger role than saying that place one is easy, place two is harder.
Yes, sir.
Always remember these are all like financial considerations as well. What
Yes, sir.
company can afford, which area that they wanted to hire. Those things make a bigger impact as well.
Yes, sir.
So when you are trying to formulate this whole thing, come up with what you are good at, where you want to spend time on, where you wanted to improve on, and stick to that particular list. If that list is successful to get you a campus selection, good. If that does not help to get you a campus selection, that is also good. You continue, you build your expertise in that particular 3 or 4 areas.
Yes, sir.
So whether you are sticking with the right 3 or 4 areas or not, you can always talk to seniors or you can talk to me. Say that hey, maybe these 3 areas are not good enough. You need to add one more thing. Things like that. Always remember, you're just getting into a professional field where your expertise matters,
Yes, sir.
and you can't be good at 30 different things, right? You can
Yes, sir.
only be good at in 3 or 4 things, and then stick to
Yeah.
that. And then don't sweat on it, like you get
Yes, sir.
campus selection, you become a great guy. If you don't get it, you become a stupid guy, meaning don't think like that.
Yeah, sir.
You need to have
Yeah,
a plan and stick to your plan. That's what I'm trying to say.
yeah, sir.
Could you give some suggestions like, you know, from this month, in this month 15, we have mid exams until end of this month we have semester exams.
Mm,
No, like within 1 or 2 months we have interviews until like on campus interviews.
mm,
So
mm,
like they are not from our domain, data science domain. They are like general interviews what the TCS infos will do. Generally, they recruit the people the BTech graduation,
mm.
bachelors. They pick the people from bachelors. The same way they'll pick along with them. Uh, so, is there any suggestions you could give to us?
What is specific suggestion you're looking for, Nani?
No, like actually, there doesn't fit for a domain, the data science domain, which we are, you know, doing our post graduation in data science. But the
Okay.
companies they come here are they're not from that domain. So, what to do? Uncle? From my opinion is that to work on the on-campus interview and keeping hold of one company. And after that, we have a lot of time. We have next year we have full of only one project we have to do. There are no subjects. We just have to do the project. We have plenty of time after getting a company from on campus, keeping hold of that company and working on our domain expert from experting doing expertise in our domain and get at least working for 2 to 3 months after getting the after getting trying for off campus we'll get the job in data science in our domain. Like we are having one what do you say, one option in on campus and an option on off campus. That's my idea. So like is that good, uncle, or is any suggestions regarding that idea?
See, look, in India, they make a big deal out of the domain. Like, if you did something, you have to work only in that. If you don't work on that, somehow it is bad. Don't think that way. Why I say
Okay.
that is your domain, whatever you learned, that knowledge is not gonna go away anywhere. And
Okay.
and in this specific case, if I were you, this is how I would project. You um, say compare with like say undergrad BTech computer science guy, what they
Okay.
are good at, how you can be better than them in projecting yourself in computer science because you also did the undergrad, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
how you can be better than them, how advanced topics that you can talk about or project out, and maybe some kind of an intersection where how that computer science advanced topics is helping you to think about data science ideas or think about a data science project or think about a data science related GitHub PR, which you can go fix, how your advanced computer science related things is helping. So if these things you can project out yourself at the MTech level kind of a person, then people will definitely consider you. And after considering you, if you go if your work does not require data science, that is fine. You always would have one or two offers with you. And then you can always switch to a complete data science role, maybe in a year from now, 1 year from now, 6 months from now. You can always do that. So you don't think that whatever you get into should be the best one. Um, um, the first one itself should be the best one.
Okay.
That
Gotcha.
will never happen, and and that will put so much pressure on you guys. Always remember, if you are under pressure, you can't perform in any of the bullet points that I keep talking about. You have to spend time on that, right? If you are under pressure, then you are already on the back foot.
Like I heard of people getting uh, 30 lakhs, 40 lakhs package right away after their graduation. So that's what I think. Why don't I get the such packages? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it depends on what that person's profile is. So, if for example, if Nani or Shiva are already doing, like say, the PyTorch upstream contributions or some other thing that I just talked about, right? where you go make the changes, and your changes are already part of the PyTorch. Okay, 30 lakhs, 40 lakhs for that kind of a person is very low.
Okay.
So you need to understand that most of the times these graduates and all that, they all are at the same age level, they all would have the same degree, but from different colleges, and they would do quite a bit of these extracurricular activities in that particular domain, which take their passion to a deeper level. Those things get them some bigger numbers.
Okay. Okay. Like that. Got your point.
Even within the companies also, like there are so many companies where like even 5 years person can get some 30 lakhs, and in so many other companies even 20-year experienced person also get only 30 lakhs, because in that particular companies they pay higher only if they really need people at that level. How do they know that you are at that level? They would know you are at that level only if they see your work somewhere.
Okay. Okay.
They can't rely on your marks, because it's not like IIT, right? Like if it is IIT, they can just rely on the marks, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even in that case, they would really look at where I can see your work. This is the
Okay.
same question they would ask. So the building the profile is very important. That is the reason, just because you have certifications and all that, you might get a job, but that kind of a big premium numbers will come only with some serious work behind that. That work is open source work. Always remember that.
Okay.
Or participate in Kaggle.
Yeah. Sure.
Yes, sir. Sure.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
evolve from wherever you are right now. That is the reality, right? You are wherever you are right now is the reality, and then you identify your bullet points and then try to go to the next level. Um, Life is too long for putting pressure right away. I have to do this. I have to get this much salary and all. Don't think on those lines.
Working on the skills is first of all we have to do, uncle. That's it.
Yeah, those are all very generic terms, right, Nani?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That is the reason we need to be specific about, okay, next my 4 months time will go only for this.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
we
Okay.
come with one more plan after 4 months from now. That is how you gradually improve. And more importantly, every work that you do, okay, you ask questions here at understand, you ask questions in GitHub, you ask questions in Kaggle, you need to be more visible. That is how the world is measuring people today.
Yeah. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
Yep.
Okay.
Good, man. Good. Hopefully the discussion is useful to you guys.
Yeah, sir. Thank you, sir. This meeting made us very useful to us.
Good. Okay, man.
Yeah, for us. Yeah.
See you next time, and
Thank you,
please
uncle.
document all those questions there. Okay. Good night then. Bye.
Sure. Sure. Good night,
Yeah, sir.
uncle.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.